these numbers we had here. So use that process to find lines I and J and finish out your table. Okay, so here we have a connections problem. It says Double Impressions charges 11 cents a page for machine-fed copies, 22 cents per page if they are hand copies placed on by hand. If your bill for 110 copies was $20.90, how many copies of each were made? This is taking us back to Algebra 1 and perhaps the systems of equations. So we want to find out where this will balance. So we have two equations we can set up. We know the prices of the two, 11 cents and 22 cents. So 0.11 and 0.22 are two different prices. We have two different types of copies. We have hand-fed and machine-fed. Now the machine-fed copies I'm going to call M. They're 11 cents a piece, plus 22 cents a piece for any hand copies. I'm going to call those H's. Together, their total price was $20.90. This would be the price of our machine-fed, this would be the price of our hand-fed, and this is our total. Okay, the other thing we know is we know how many copies we made total. We made 110 copies. So however many machine-fed we made, plus however many hand-fed we made, there was a whole total of 110 copies made. Okay, now if this is multiple choice, you can just put the multiple choice options in and see which of them actually works. If you want to do the full solution the way that we do it in algebra, what we want to do here is what's called elimination. We want to completely eliminate either the M or the H from this pair. So what you do is you try to get the same number. Let's say we wanted to eliminate M's. I want to have a negative 11 cents here so that when I add them together they completely cancel out. The way we do that is we multiply this entire equation, both sides, by negative 0.11. That again, the goal there was to get the same number in front here but with opposite sides. When I do that, I get negative 0.11 M minus 0.11 H equals, and I have to take 110 also to keep the equation balanced, times negative 0.11, I get negative 12.1. What I'm going to do now is add it to that other original equation. So 0.11 M plus 0.22 H equals $20.90. We add those together, so these cancel like we planned. Here we have 0.22 minus 0.11 gives me 0.11 H equals, and then we just do the $20.90 minus $12.10, $8.80. And now we're solving for just H. That's why we wanted to get rid of that, is so we'd have just one variable. And if it's been a while since you did algebra, or if you've never done algebra, this is going to look very foreign to you, and I'm sorry about that. Didn't make up the questions. Okay, so to get by itself, we'd have to divide by 0.11, and when we do, we get 80. So there were 80 hand-fed copies. How many machine-fed copies would there be? So then, to make this simpler on us, we go back to, well, how many were there total? There were a total of 110 copies made. 80 of them were hand-fed, so how many are left to be machine-fed? So we take our total of 110 minus that 80, and we get that there must have been 30 machine-fed copies. Okay, so we had 30 machine-fed copies, 80 hand-fed copies.